Anti-migrant protests in the UK have exploded once again, following the arrest of a migrant hotel resident on suspicion of assault. The Sun reported clashes between police and protesters outside the Britannia Hotel in London after law enforcement enacted Section 14 of the Public Order Act to move the demonstrators across the road from the hotel. The protesters then started a chant criticising the Section 14 order.
Section 14!
The Britannia Hotel has been the centre for protests since it was transformed from a 4-star hotel for paying tourists to a government-funded migrant hotel to accommodate illegal immigrants into the UK. This weekend's Britannia protest was only the most recent in a string of anti-migrant protests that have erupted in the UK over recent months. Sky News hosts Rowan Dean and James Morrow say the protesters are sick of the special treatment given to illegal immigrants in the UK, whilst average Brits are struggling with cost of living pressures.
In Britain this weekend, as we speak, there have been an unprecedented number of rallies, protests, marches and so on against immigration. Now, this is a massive backlash against years, really, and it's still going on, where people are silenced in Britain if they raise any questions about immigration. As I said before, they're immediately called a racist, and the police will knock on their door in the middle of the night because they said something on social media posts that they were uncomfortable about the number of illegal immigrants in the local hostel, and so on and so forth. Well, now the people of Britain seem to have had enough. There have been unprecedented number of protests across the country. Of course, you won't see this on most of the mainstream news. But here's one woman speaking up. Have a listen.
We are not far right. We are the mothers of Nuneaton, the mothers of England. We will no longer be silenced. Stop the rape of our children.
Stop the rape of our children. That also, obviously, James, has echoes of the Rotherham scandal and so on.
The Rotherham scandal, which is massive, and it still is reverberating today. You know, thousands of white girls raped by, mostly, it has to be said, Pakistani migrants. And the thing is that today you've got still boats coming every single day. And the thing that really galls people in the UK is, you know, it's not that they're anti-migrant. It's the fact that they see these migrants being snuck into their communities, put into hotels, put up, given, hotels, food, shelter, welfare, everything, while there's huge waiting lists for housing. There's a huge housing crisis in Britain. And, you know, there's every single day or week you hear stories about people who've just arrived and then committed some sort of allegedly unspeakable crime. And people are absolutely fed up. The Starmer government, Labour, in fact, all of official Britain now is absolutely terrified that the country is coming apart. And so instead of dealing with the problem, they've turned on the British people. This is just horrific for democracy. It's horrific for free speech. It's horrific for liberty. And, you know, this is the issue that is going to tear the country apart.
And the successive weeks of protests aren't just against the illegal migrants, but also the UK government that has allowed this to happen, says broadcaster Carmen Sabia.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you about the crisis in the UK because the number of migrants to cross the English Channel in boats since Keir Starmer came to power last year has surpassed 50,000. 50,000. Now, separately, French authorities confirmed that a woman died on Monday while trying to board a boat to make the crossing to the UK. Just awful. Now, this is a clear failure of leadership and there's plenty of frustration in the UK at the moment. What do you make of this?
It's incredibly sad, but the UK has been so weak for so long on this issue. It's like they've rolled out the red carpet and now you want to pull it back and now you want to say stop coming, but it's too late. You know, it's like closing the stable after the horse has already left. You know, I think it's too late. I don't see a way without actually being, you know, more Donald Trump-like, kind of being meaner about this and being stronger about this, that you're going to shut this down. You know, you have to be out there on boats. You have to be turning away these boats. You have to be bringing these people, you know, locking them up if you have to. But it has to stop. And the only way you're going to stop it is to be tough And I see Starmer, I listen to him, I read what he says, and he's still dancing around the issue. He still doesn't actually understand what the problem is, I think. And so he can't solve it. If you can't understand the problem, you can't solve it. He still wants to be politically correct, I guess, on the world stage. He's still a globalist, and ultimately that's the failure. I don't know if there's a way out of this for the UK anymore, and that worries me.
Sky News host Rowan Dean doubled down, calling the management of illegal immigrants by the governments and law enforcements of Europe Orwellian.
How do you fight back against a sinister Orwellian government that seeks to impose huge and seemingly unstoppable numbers of migrants into your local communities, your towns and your cities, rendering them, in many cases, virtually unrecognisable? This is the situation facing not only Britain but many European cities. This is a scene from London where, for better or worse, the streets support high levels of immigrant cultures due to years of legal and illegal immigration and an unwillingness for certain cultures to integrate into traditional British culture. And I suspect it will be the situation here before too long, with the Albanese government bringing record numbers of people in from non-Western cultures. Sadly and predictably, there are increasing examples online of British people having, shall we say, unpleasant experiences with the explosion of recent illegal immigrants. A man exposing himself was turfed off the Hammersmith tube a couple of days ago by horrified passengers. There are many such alarming stories. Yet the reaction from the British authorities seems to be to go after the victims and to silence the victims rather than apprehend or caution the perpetrators. It's a rather sinister inversion of our basic understanding of how the law should work.